Welcome to this week's episode of the Blueprint Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Thomas. I'm here with my co-host, Josh Lowe.
Lowdown Deals coming up.
Lowdown Deals, front row, Josh Lowe.
Yep.
You know him as many things. But so today's guest is a young guy that's up and coming in this Ohio Valley. And some of you may know him. If you don't know him, you're about to. The guy's got probably more energy than anyone we've had on this show yet. But, you know, we're talking about from being broken to built, faith, fitness, and purpose. This is where we discover God's design for every area of our life. Faith, family, business, leadership, purpose. We talk about it all right here. So today, we're talking about something that many people overlook, and even many Christians overlook, your body. Your body matters. And, Scripture tells us that our bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, yet so many of us separate our spiritual health from our physical health. So today's guest, he has lived both sides of that reality. Riley Watkins went from an overweight kid struggling with confidence to become one of West Virginia's most decorated high school football players. He found Christ as a teenager. He battled through seasons of success and failure, lost over 60 pounds after football, and has now helped more than 100 men transform their lives through fitness, discipline, and accountability. But this isn't just a conversation about losing weight. It's about identity. It's about discipline. It's about leadership. And ultimately, it's about how following Christ can change everything. So let's jump into it. Riley Watkins, man, what is up?
What's going on, man? So happy to be here, dude. I appreciate the introduction. Hopefully, I'll be able to live up to that.
Yeah, no, it was good, Chris. I'm like, flip this table over and
I mean, we might have to, but like, Riley, you're a young guy, right? I mean, how old are you?
Just turned 22 last month.
22, man. You might be the youngest guest we've had too, right?
So.
I mean, he's probably pushing it, but this guy's got a lot to say, and hopefully a lot of people are going to take a lot of different things from it. But let's jump in. Riley, take us back to your childhood.
Yeah.
So who was Riley Watkins before football, before fitness?
Yeah, so originally I was born in Morgantown, back in 2004, so 22 years ago. And then when I was in third grade, we actually moved up to Wheeling, went to Woodsdale, and then it was actually around this time when I was at Woodsdale in third grade when I was homeschooled that I wanted to play flag football. I was always kind of athletic when I was younger, but I never played sports. When I was in third grade, homeschooled, I was kind of overweight. All I did was play video games, and I went in the YMCA Flag Football League. We were the blue team, and I wanted to play running backs. I saw videos on. I was like, I want to run the ball. Put me at center. Was not happy that I was at center. And I came to my mom and I was really upset because I was I had this vision, right, of playing running back. And I was like, you're the center. It wasn't because I was the best center, because I was kind of the fat kid. And she was like, well, you can, just be upset about it. Because my mom was, into fitness. And she's like, or you can get in shape and actually do something about it.
Yeah, come on.
What she did was she actually gave me her, I don't know if you guys have seen P90X or Sean T, but Sean T T25. She's like, here's my workout CDs that I do, the Sean T 25-minute body weight. And in third grade, I started waking up at 5 a.m. and I lost weight in third grade. Next season, got to play running back. Went to Wheeling Country Day. Met my trainer for 12 years, Josh Piles, and then Piles Elite. Met CJ Goodwin, and I worked out with Josh Piles from fifth grade to freshman year of college. Taught me everything I know about strength and conditioning. Fell in love with fitness, changed my whole life, and that's where really started my passion. And then went to Mercyhurst and was going to study sports and exercise science. I still am. And from there, a couple of my buddies were like, hey, I, want you to help me with workouts, because it was crazy enough. I fell in love with strength conditioning at such a young age, working out 4 square every single morning, 5 a.m., 6th, 7th, 8th grade. I loved it. And then in high school, I actually became our team strength coach and actually ended up getting a grant from WB Medicine and built our weight room. And I was being the team strength coach. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I knew sports and fitness and strength conditioning was what I wanted to do. College, I was I thought I was going to be a football strength coach. I had a couple buddies who were my age, who actually paid me and became my first client. So I was wow, this is so crazy, something I love. People would actually want to pay me to do this, and this is so cool. And from there, I was after seeing different NFL people that I knew in my life, Kevin Barlow was an all-pro guy from the 49ers. He was my 7-on-7 football coach in high school. Talking to him and seeing CJ Goodwin, such an amazing mentor. I speaking to him. And actually looking at the trajectory I have for my life, I'm like, obviously, you know, you want to have huge goals. But for me, when you look at the effort and the time and the sacrifice I'm putting in, I'm, you know, 5'6" white dude. Like, I'm not the most athletically blessed person in the whole world. And when I look at the effort that I was putting in with football, I was like, I believe that my effort would be better served, you know, in, you know, helping people with their fitness and running my business. So I decided to come home and try to figure out, like, do I want to do this, try to do this? And I actually kind of fell off of that. I was like, because I didn't know, I never run a business. I'm like, I want to do strength conditioning, but like, I don't know if I want to do fitness. And then in that process, coming home, kind of lost my own identity after a little bit, because, you know, you're an all-star athlete and you come back, you're like, you have no football. And I actually ended up putting on 61 pounds. And then I was like, you know what, like, if I want to actually be somebody that's going to lead others to take care of their own health and fitness, whether they were athletes or whether it was general fitness, like, I need to take care of myself. And I went from, you know, 60 pounds overweight in the best shape of my entire life. And it was in that process that my friend Trey, a teammate from high school, was like, dude, same thing happened to me after football. Gain weight, like, help me. And I helped Trey keep the best shape of his life. And he actually said the words to me. He said, dude, you changed my whole life. Nobody's ever told me that. My whole life, nobody's ever told me the words, you changed my life. And when he said that, I was like, this is what I want to do.
Yes.
From there, he was my first client. We had our first podcast on my YouTube right now. And, you know, from there, just was like, I would become the best in the world at this. And that's,
we impact people daily, you know, and sometimes we don't ever know it unless you're really open your eyes to look for it.
Yeah.
You know, so you were once the overweight kid, low confidence, and you know, what did that teach you about identity? You talked about identity briefly in there. So
yeah, and I really think that the biggest thing is, like, it was not something I necessarily, because, like, the last time I was overweight before, you know, this time a couple of years ago, was I was in like third grade. So I wasn't like dating, I wasn't like presenting in front of people, but my whole life as an athlete, I was always like in love with fitness, and it never was something that I was like conscious about. I just always like was super confident, so super good shape, but then losing it, like, it taught me so much just about day-to-day life of your confidence. Like, when you can just show up.
It's like kind of have to teach yourself how to walk again. If it didn't have, football wasn't your identity at that time.
Totally.
You got to be like, man, what do I do now?
100%.
I know how to work out. I know how to crawl, but I got to walk again.
100%. And actually, you know, I mean, when you look at you know, you guys as salespeople, when you talk to people, present to people, like, if you can lead yourself, like, I think leadership is really just setting the example. And if you set that amazing example for yourself, like, I take care of myself physically, mentally, and I'm just like my best self, it really does bleed over to like the way that you speak and present and interact with people. And for me, it just taught me such a lesson of, like, if you can just set the example for yourself, like, a lot of times, a lot of the other things can fall into place because you have those lessons from sports or fitness. It's just like, I can't look at myself in the mirror and not say I'm not my best.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
So we'll talk about, you know, growing up, you know, playing football was such a big part of your life. 3-time All-State, right? Defensive Player of the Year, team captain, state champion. You played college football. And, you know, what was the greatest lesson that football gave you that had nothing to do with football?
Your best doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because you can try your best and do as much as you can possibly do. I'm trying so hard and studying film, do all these things, but you know what I mean? If somebody's better than you, they deserve to start. And that's what it tells me. It's like your effort, not only you have to give your best, but your best has to match what's actually required to be the best, to succeed and be number one. Like, you guys, I'm sure there's realtors, there are salespeople, they can try, but if you're not actually doing the right things to do what's required to help people make their purchases or whatever it is, then you're not going to be number one. And I think that's what it taught me, is like, I can study the film, do all the workouts and do all the things, but I had a couple of friends, you know, my friend Trey Hawkins or Torrance Walker, and these guys were just so athletically blessed and gifted. I'm like, my effort, like, I'm not going to be able to run 4.2. You know what I mean? That's why I think it just taught me a lot about, like, you know, the vehicle in which you're trying your best in. You have to be able to, you know, if you want to be number one, like, your best isn't going to ensure that you're number one. Like, doing what's required to be better than the other 99 is what's going to get you to be good one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Oh, man. Yeah, so good.
I think we want to get back in my Facebook Messenger, actually message him back.
Let's go. After this, you guys are going to be in the program.
Yes. Yeah. I literally could get on here right now to see where Riley reached out to me, and I didn't reach out.
Yep, for sure.
After this.
I knew it was set in design. I was like, Chris, we got to get him on here. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, he's just such a good young guy that's just bringing a lot, you know, to this valley.
And I didn't know him actually through football. I played football at Park to graduate in 2010.
Oh, cool.
Played with like Richard Hall and everybody. But actually, I knew you from just social media and you working out, and then like just your posts. And I know how we connected on Facebook.
Yeah,
I like this guy.
Well, I met him actually through a political event that was going on. with one of my friends that were running, and here's this young baby face, like kid coming up and just, running for office but man, he's contagious. Yeah, he's got a
contagious. Yeah,
like contagious is the energy he brings. It's the kind of stuff you want to get around.
Sure.
Thank you.
So let's talk about your faith.
Yeah.
Right. And so you were baptized at 17.
Yes.
Right. Gave your life to Christ.
Yes.
Tell us, how did that decision come along at 17 years old?
Yeah, so I was never, religious growing up. My parents were like, we didn't really go to church every Sunday. And like, obviously here and there, like you'll say things like, I believe in God. When I was in middle school, obviously you'll say this, but it wasn't like a deep faith. I'm like, I believe Jesus Christ is God and like, I'm going to go to heaven. It was more just like, I guess you could call it more performed. People say I'm Christian, but they don't actually walk the walk. They just talk the talk. And for me, going to Central is probably the best decision I've made today. Probably one of the most impactful decisions because for me, I was actually getting into a lot of trouble when I was in middle school, hanging around the wrong crowd. And my dad actually was like, we're going to send you guys to a place where like you're going to be around the right people. And they felt like Central was that place. And for me, the biggest thing that sold me is like, you walk into Central and you see, walls of championships, and that's what sold me. But actually the better, piece of that was going there and having religion class. You get to sit in class and learn about who is Jesus, who is God. He's not some person you just see online, or you post a Bible quote, or you write a Bible quote on your cleats, right? That's not what it is. And you actually learn about like who Jesus Christ was, what he did, the sacrifice he made. And from there, I'm somebody that's pretty, I guess you call it speculative. And I had my religion teacher, Brian Pulley at Wheeling Central, and then, Mr. Jones at Wheeling Central, Miss Riedel at Wheeling Central, and Mike Young at Wheeling Central. And you're praying before games, you're praying, before practices, and you're in class learning, like, who is Jesus? And I'm like asking questions and trying to like prove the guy wrong. And I'm like, what about this? What about this? What about that? Why did he actually have to die? Why did he actually have to die? Like, what about this? Because for me, I want to know all the information. I'm like, well, how? And I, the more I learned, the more I prayed, the more I actually looked into it, the more I actually became a believer. And at 17, it was middle of our season. My 7-on-7 coach, Kevin Barlow, who was an all-pro running back for the 49ers, Sky Elite.
It was Pitt, right?
Yep, went to Pitt, all-pro, and he was our 7-on-7 coach at Sky Elite 7-on-7. Dakota Conwell and Kevin Barlow were the coaches. And he was actually the person that really, like, I guess, was probably the main person, the reason I decided to get baptized, because he talks about he's in the NFL, he had all this money, he had all this success, but he didn't have himself, he didn't have the belief in himself, and in his heart, he had a hole there, and it was a God-sized hole. And he made the decision to get baptized, and he's like, dude, it changed my life. He's like, if you around Kevin Barlow, like the infectious, the way that I am with my energy, that's how he is for Christ, and seeing like the leadership he had, and I was like, I want to get baptized, and he was at my baptism, and I talked to my sister's husband, who was a pastor at the time, and I was like, I want to get baptized. Like, if you're gonna do something, like it's not gonna be performative. Like, it was me, my family, that's it. So let's go. I'm making a decision. And First Christian Church in Martins Ferry, Justin Hill, guy that I knew growing up, and he's a great person. He was there. He has a video of me getting baptized. He took the video, and I accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, baptized, and after that, it was the best decision I ever made. And anybody who's been baptized not as a young person, like as a baby, like for
that's a sprinkle though. That's not a
it was a decision you made.
For me, when I talk to him, but it's like the feeling you have when you come up. You can't replicate that, and it's not a feeling of like, oh, I'm baptized now. It's just like, it's not I'm afraid of what happens if I don't fall. It's like I have such a pull towards love for Christ, rather than I have a pull away from I don't want to go. Like, it was like I can't describe. I can't put it in words. But anybody who's been baptized,
he was able to make that decision though for yourself. That's an important thing for baptisms. Obviously, you see young kids doing it. Like, if you don't make the decision for yourself, is it even really a real thing?
Well, yeah. And after that, my little brother got baptized. My friend Mario got baptized, and I was there for both of them. And seeing me do that and have an outward display in my face, like I personally, got two other people that I know in my life.
Amen.
They do set that example. They're like, you did, I'm gonna do it.
You're an all-in kind of guy, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's either 100 or nothing.
Yeah. It's always, well, so you're running a successful business, Watkins Coaching, right? And how do you keep Christ at the center of that with being, busy and not successful?
Out with people, you're seeing a lot of people, you're talking to a lot of people. How do you, whether it will display it or how do you sneak in a little cracker every once in a while? Like talking about Jesus, or like how do you do it? Yeah,
it's just the way I live my life every day. Like for me, business starts with the first time I speak with you and I shoot you a message on Facebook, hey, what's going on? Like, I think that first expectation is when the the entire customer journey starts. It's when the entire, like, the expectations you set. If you fill out my form within 60 seconds, you're going to get a call. Hey, I saw you were interested. Like, how can I please, and here's the word, how can I help serve? How can I actually help you? And I think just leading with that frame of like, I want to help this person. It's not, the goal isn't to get someone to buy and sign up. If I can do my job to really try to understand this person and help them, maybe make a decision that they have concerns or fears and provide proof. How can I have such a big stack of undeniable proof that it would be so unlikely somebody wouldn't believe it would work for them? Like, here, how can I help? How can I serve? And just having that, the same drive I have from football, how can I have that drive and just like, listen, you are going to succeed with us. Like, there's no way you don't succeed. And having that just level of commitment to people and in wanting to see people succeed, I feel like that, just having that level of commitment is how I at least display my faith of like, if you're going to believe in Jesus Christ, like, you need to be aggressive. Like, literally, like this, like, I believe you will be better off if you believe in Christ.
See, this or that, it's one way or no way.
Yeah, there's no middle of the road, right? It's you can't be lukewarm.
And it's the difference between, I think, belief and certainty. Like, I'm certain. It's not like it's like how much. Like, I know it's like I'm certain.
Yeah,
like many entrepreneurs and business people, I mean, they struggle because success starts slowly replacing their dependence on God.
Yeah,
because we ask for things. Once we're given it, then we kind of drift.
It jumps away.
We're good. We got it, and we stop following that dependence on what He provides to us, and we start thinking, well, we can do this on our own.
Yeah.
Really, we're not good enough. So, we'll talk about, you were fit, you were an athlete.
Yes.
And, but after football, you gained more than 60 pounds.
Yes.
What happened?
So I would say the number one thing that was the transition from being an athlete to not an athlete is, when you're an athlete, you're doing so much activity. You're going to football practice, you're lifting weights. And for me, I wasn't as, dialed in on the diet. So for me, it never really stopped training, but it was like I was just not tracking my food. I wasn't as clean in what I was eating. As an athlete, you actually probably need to eat not necessarily as clean because you need extra calories. If you're going to go to the dining hall, like, you're probably able to get away with some cookies, some ice cream because you're burning 6,000 calories a day. But when you're not an athlete, you really have to be dialed in on like tracking what you're eating, making sure you're eating the right things, having the right structure in your day. And for me, it was a really big lesson to be able to actually have to learn, like, okay, I need to track my food, see what I'm eating, and really understand like caloric intake, proper supplementation, like sleep, different things like that. And I think that was the biggest change for me, gaining 61 pounds and losing 61 pounds. For me, it was really just like really getting dialed in on my nutrition, but I'd already had that base of knowledge. It was really just like, okay, make sure the nutrition is dialed in consistently over time, get to that desired body fat. But a lot of times when people start, it's like they have to learn the training, nutrition, and then and then they see stuff online like, do I do this and do I do that? It's like, do I do real estate? Do I do car sales? Do I do insurance? It's like, you gotta pick a strategy.
You're just reaching.
Yeah. For me, I'm certain I knew it worked. I just need to actually apply it. And I think that was really the thing for me that allowed me to, lose the weight. It's really just as math. But to answer your question, just nutrition.
Was that season more, difficult mentally or physically?
Yeah. But, so physically it really had no, actual, health difficulties. But I just think the biggest thing for me that I saw was, gaining weight and then your favorite clothes stop fitting. Then you necessarily kind of maybe see a photo of yourself in a group photo. You're not necessarily proud of that. And you're used to having 6-pack ripped and, you know what I mean? And then you go to, having maybe love handles, like how little bit of a guy. And for me, it was really difficult. And I think for me, it was just like, I was like, this ain't my standard, dude. Like my standard ain't love handles and a guy. It's pack, top of the game. Let's go.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily that it's somebody who doesn't have that, they have a low standard. Just for me, I can't achieve it, so why not?
So you didn't just wake up one day and be like, I'm going to get back to it?
There was actually a moment I had. It was when I was on vacation with girls at the time, and I remember we had a day where we were just eating terrible food, and I remember I had clothes that I brought, and clothes didn't fit anymore. It was my favorite outfit, and it didn't fit.
Yeah.
I was walking around kind of sucking in my stomach all that day, and I went and I looked at myself in the mirror on vacation. I was like, I had love handles that guy. I took a photo of myself, and that was the photo. If you look at my Instagram before and after, that photo on the left is the photo I took. And that photo is my lock screen every single day until I was.
So that was my next question, but you might already hit it when my next question was, wait, what moment?
Yeah, that was
saying I refuse to stay here.
Right there, that moment.
And that was it, right?
Yeah.
That was the turning point.
When the pain of change is less than the pain of staying the same.
Yeah, cool. That's good. So building, Watkins coaching.
Yes.
You lost 61 pounds yourself.
Yes.
Before you started coaching others.
Yes.
Why is it important to experience a transformation before being able to teach?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody that has, I don't know, the way that you guys got into sales or Jesus or anything in your life, I feel like if you really want to be the number one at something, you have to have a transformational experience, because at the end of the day, like when things are slow or maybe a customer says something, you have to have a deep-rooted belief. And it's like, I believe at the core of my soul in this. And I think for me, having transformation at a young age and seeing the transformation of putting in the work as a young kid, going from an overweight young kid to really good athlete, that transformation, then being able to, in high school, learn about strength and conditioning to transform my teammates and get them to go to their house and wake them up out of bed. No, we're going to the field. We're going to run. We're going to go play 7-on-7. We're going to do this every single day. We're like, if we're going to be champions, like that's our standard. And then also going to college and learning about the actual science of nutrition and training, and then gaining weight and then transforming my own lives, and then having another person ask to help me, and then hearing the words, "You changed my life," like that for me is deep. Like there's no way, like, no, it works. Like I've seen what can happen. You know what I mean? That's really the base of it.
So that's a big thing I've been studying right now, in leadership. And, a big thing for me is the book of Nehemiah.
Yeah.
And it's the ultimate book on leadership. Yeah. Anybody, CEOs, military generals, they have studied the book of Nehemiah in the Bible. And, for those that don't know, Nehemiah is favored by the king, and he allows him to go, back to his home. Like, and this is, he's looking sad, and this is stuff that would get you killed right there. So the king lets him go back, but Nehemiah has to build the people before he can rebuild the walls. So you can have an idea, and you can want to do things, but do you have the vision?
Yep.
And Nehemiah had a vision placed on him. And so that's the difference in like how I approach things. And as I dive deeper into it is I'm not just having an idea and going, well, let's go with this and let's run. Yeah. I have a vision. I already see it. Right. I already see what's going to play out. Yes. And I believe it. So, believing in it behind it is a whole nother level than just, having an idea and wanting to run with it.
Gotta have certainty. Yeah. Percent certainty. You can be, this might work. This is going to work. I'm going to do what it takes to make it work. Yeah. And I just know it's going to work. You can learn. I know that I know,
You can learn the tactics in one day. Yeah. Right? It takes 20 years to actually execute it consistently. Yeah. So it's like, if you have the belief, I can learn the tactics now. And then after I know what to do, I have the belief. It's like, okay, I'll become number one. I'll become number one.
I'll turn you on to a book I'm actually listening to right now. It's, Andy Stanley, which I know you may be familiar with. I know Josh was. Yeah. It's called Visioneering. Nice. And it's phenomenal. And it's so based on Nehemiah. Yes. And, and even if you look at athletes that, we talked briefly, people can say, well, LeBron James is the greatest basketball player. Yes. Well, maybe so, points wise, things like that. But the killer instinct you've seen out of guys like Michael Jordan, Kobe, Larry Bird, like they were in the gym at 3 a.m. And they wanted to rip your heart out. It wasn't just winning championships and everything. It was striving to be the best, the vision they had for it. Yes. So if you study like some of the stuff on Jordan is just ruthless. Yeah. I mean, he was like probably the worst trash talker. What it was. But so going back is you coach ambitious men right now, and let's tell us the biggest lies that men believe about their culture.
That they don't need to be in shape. I think a lot of times, I think the biggest one is, especially if you have somebody who's super successful in every other area of their life, it's like, I don't need to be in shape. I don't need to. They're good. It's like, well, like if you can, be in great shape, why don't? I think a lot, like it's really like, I think at the end of the day, like nobody actually like is trying and lose. Like losing is a slow erosion of your standards. And I think really it's just like over time, people like let things slip, or they try to rationalize with themselves. It's not important.
We get comfortable.
Yeah, 100%. I really think it's like, it's either, I don't need to be in shape, I don't want to, or I know what to do, I'm just not doing it. It's like, at the end of the day, like, you don't. You know what I mean? I think it's at the end of the day, like, if you truly knew exactly how to be in shape inside your busy schedule, and you really understood exactly how to do it, like, who would just choose not to be healthy and be in great shape? Like, nobody actually choose that. It's just like, you have to know the structure, and then I really think it's just like, you actually have to want to be your best. Like,
good. So most people, I mean, they know what to do, but why don't they do it?
I think a lot of times people probably know like a general idea, but I think the actual specifics of it is like, I need to eat salad or do keto or do that. It's like, if you actually look at like the specifics of what do you do, it's like you seem to be in with a certain calorie range. You have to eat of the calories you do consume, have this ratio of macronutrients, strength train a couple of days a week, maybe get some more stuff. It's like very, very simple stuff. But I think a lot of times people, it's like, all or nothing people like CEOs or
extreme,
big time, you know what I mean, sales guys like you, like, or both of you guys, it's like, they're like, I need to do fasting and keto and go all balls to the wall. And it's like, really, unless you're going to do it every day for the rest of your life, like, don't start. And I really think it's like, if you can't do it within every 24 hours that you have, it's not worth starting. And I really think that's the biggest change that I make with the people in my program is like, they probably have an idea of like, what are some healthy things, or like, I need to go to the gym, but it's really just about helping them inside their lives. If you are a sales guy, or you're a CEO, or you are a military guy, we have many active duty people in the program right now. How inside the 24 hours that you have each day, can you just do 3 or 4 things differently? Eating different foods takes 0 time. You can change the foods you're eating. Okay, here are the foods you're going to eat. Okay, going to the gym 2 or 3 days per week, right? It's like 30 minutes, 45 minutes every 2 days a week for the rest of your life. Better than no days a week for the rest of your life. And I think just little things like that, like having a plan, having a structure laid out for you step by step, and somebody like, again, you can set the playbook, and then the nuance of, okay, the guard's going to fall here, and then you're going to cut off the guard and go this way, and you have to, and then the receiver, you're going to go get the safety, you're going to cut off him, right? It's like the very nuanced specifics of fitness combined with the playbook, and then combined with the coach to actually make sure that you follow it is, I think, where our clients have success. But really, it's just, again, having a simple structure that it's not like, oh, I'm going to do like this big, event. It doesn't need to be an event. It needs to be how you live within a 24-hour period.
Marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And many people, I think when they think about fitness, they think about, they lift weights or walking, running, and dieting. They forget about an important part of sleep.
Oh, yeah. I'm there because, like, I struggle with that.
Yep.
Working out now, obviously. I played football, broke my neck, screw-tackler spine. So, like, sports were cut completely out of my life. And I was like, I don't know what to do now.
Yeah.
Because I was a really good wrestler. And that's how I knew how to diet, was a wrestler's diet.
Yeah.
And that's still in my mind.
Orange a day.
They get that part out. But that's kind of like where I struggle. I guess as a man, I'm 34 years old, but it's like, I'll do it to, I guess, almost make a weight. I just did it recently. Like, I literally ate right, just walking the lot, doing lunges, squats, all that stuff in the dealership. I'm there for 12 hours out of the day. And then I hit my weight goal.
Yeah.
And then I proposed, and then now I'm back to 12 pounds heavier than what I was. I mean, I'm still not eating quite as awful as I was prior to going on this little weight journey.
Yep.
But now I'm just like, man, I'm not taking those extra steps right now. I'm not doing lunges randomly when I'm bored at work. I'm not doing air squats. I'm not whatever, I'm not doing anything like that. And I've seen myself because I made weight. I made my goal. And then now it's like the wrestler mentality. And I just got to get that burn out of my system.
Now we're going to dive into the, Watkins coaching blueprint.
Ah, man, like I'm telling you,
we're going to team up.
This was all God.
Yep.
He said, give me a list, Chris. I said, there's one.
Yeah, for sure.
Then I was like, I know why. God, like, I just felt that the Lord was and everything out. So appreciate you being here for real, man.
Thanks for having me.
Let's keep it going.
So, you're young, but like you've coached over 100 clients already.
Yep.
What's one transformation story that you can tell us that just sticks with you?
Oh man, all of them. Yeah. Like, I mean, if you go to my YouTube, right now we have, I think, 10 interviews up. We're going to have like 3 within the next month. Every single client has like awesome transformation. I found like baller transformation. Like I'll usually do like an interview, kind of like we're doing right now, like tell your story. Like we got one guy right now, we're actually going to work out with him later today. He's in town, but he's an active duty military E5 sergeant in the Air Force, Kai Schultz. He's a local guy who went to Park, but he's active duty military professional. He's in the military. He's coming back right now. We're going to work out tonight. He hit me up and he was like, I mean, he's a member of our armed service. Like this guy's literally putting his life on the line. So we can, play salespeople and play podcasters, right? And this guy's literally risking his life every day. He's
so that we can do stuff.
Exactly,
yeah, so we can.
Exactly. It's crazy. I mean, braver than I'll ever be. And he came to me. He's like, dude, like I need help. And if you go to my Instagram, like go to my @Coach Riles, like he was one of the pinned posts. I mean, he went from like just kind of where I would. I mean, this dude is like just great shape now, or Trey, like anybody who gets a crazy transformation. One of my second cousin Carson, and he's down over 100 pounds. I got one guy, Dustin Blankenship, he's the head of the Libertarian Party in West Virginia. He's down 140 pounds, changed his whole life. We got guys that are, their blood pressures, they're able to play with their kids again. They're like actually added 20 years to their life. Like every one of them for me is the most impactful one, because anybody who's going to be able to trust me to help them and change their health, like I think they're all the most important for me. And I every single one to me is the most important.
None greater than the other. They're all.
Because the person that you're working with, it is the most important. Like themselves, it's their health. It's all.
That's a good coach right there.
Yeah. When everybody matters.
Yeah.
It's So do you think physical discipline, helps play a part in the spiritual discipline?
I mean, I would say so. I think again, like I think how you do everything is how you do anything, and I think with fitness, like the way that you show up every single day, if you don't, if you want to, you only have 24 hours, right? So if you're fit every 24 hours and you start all 24 hours with God and you have God in that 24 hours, it's just how do you live your 24 hours? And I think scientifically, if you're struggling with your sleep and you have sleep apnea, and sleep apnea usually caused by, if you have excess fat around your neck, you're going to sleep less, and then you're going to be less energy the next day, and then you're giving yourself not as good food, and you're not moving your body. I say it's like you have compounding with positive, like with money, you compound and it grows, but it's like you also have negative compounding with debt. And it's like you have compounding with your fitness in the positive way, but you also have compounding in the negative with the other end of the fitness spectrum, which if you're doing everything wrong and you're smoking and you're drinking, nothing wrong with that. But it's like if all you're doing is unhealthy habits, it does have a negative effect. You can't tell me that somebody who's really struggling with their health is going to outperform the guy who wakes up, prays, he's got a workout, he's taking care of his body, fuels himself, and he's got his sons and daughters, and you know what I mean? They're working out with him. It's the reason I'm in shape is because my mom got me in shape. She set the example. You know what I mean? It's if you want to set the example, you can't tell me that, that person, I think that guy's going to be probably happier.
Yeah, I was going to say, as in listening to this, I was you had a really good foundation, a good example from your parents from an early age. And clearly, but you also walked in it too, so you didn't.
Yeah, my dad's a physician too. So my mom was super into fitness and she was a nurse, and my dad's a physician. So I've seen what can happen if you don't take care of your health. Right. I also had somebody like my mom who just getting, if you want to be in shape, stop telling me you want to be do it here.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So that,
I'm sitting here, thinking about you talking about, 24 hours and we have our producer, Mason Goddard. And, I know Mason's had you on his podcast as well. Mason's a man of many talents, and,
the GOAT,
he runs this podcast. He makes it possible. He has Valley Visuals photography. He's out there shooting drone work. He's shooting weddings. He's, but I was sitting here thinking, you're talking about 24 hours, and all I can think is Mason's probably thinking the same thing I am about, how about this guy, if we teach him about many days, right?
I think Riley does a little bit about Ed Milet.
Yeah.
So Ed Milet talks about, the 24-hour day, which is so archaic, right?
I love it. 3 days in a row. I got 12. Yes, that's a
Break it into many days, where I have 6 a.m. to noon is my first day.
Yeah.
6 is my second.
Yeah, I love that.
So if I'm doing this much in this day, and I'm timesing it by 3, I'm beating
time every day.
Yeah.
Because I have 3 times the days as you, and I love that.
I love that.
Thought, So, let's switch gears. That this year you ran for the West Virginia House of Delegates.
Did.
And what inspired that decision? Where did that come from?
Yeah, so when I came home from Mercyhurst and I came home to transfer to West Liberty, there was a period where I didn't know if I wanted to study exercise science. I actually was gonna planning on maybe going to law school, and I actually interned for Bill Flanagan, whose wife is actually an anesthesia partner with my dad. That's how
Nation Supreme Court Justice.
He just got sworn in, and his partner, George Sidopoulos, best trial attorney I think in America, I actually interned at their law firm, and it was so cool learning. And George is the way I am with fitness, the way that dude's an A player, savage warrior for his clients. Best guy around. Those guys. George and Maya and them at that law firm are just absolute A players. And seeing that and just learning from them, that was the connection I had with law. And then actually I decided that I definitely wanted to go all in on fitness and study exercise. I think this is the path I want to take in my life. After my friend Trey was able to tell me I changed his life. Because I want to do this, but after running my business, there was a seat coming up, and Bill had actually was like, hey, why doesn't Riley run? I was like, what, that would be a great idea. I was like, okay, we're gonna run.
I'm going to.
Yeah, and then I decided I wanted to run. It was great, got to meet so many people, but I ultimately came to the choice after running it. The reason I wanted to run, it was like, when you actually look at the statistics of West Virginia, the most unhealthy states, like 70% of our state is overweight. Almost 50% is like clinically obese, which is not good for like healthcare costs and insurance. Like if you want to drive healthcare insurance down, there's a certain pile of money in insurance. Everyone pays a premium, and if somebody is issue with their weight or something, and maybe they have a heart attack, well, you got to pull money out of that pile. So more people are flowing to their health effects. If you can get our whole population, nobody was obese or nobody was overweight, guarantee it would be way less premiums, like costs would go down. And you actually look at, drug addiction, mental health, like highest rates of opioid addiction. So it's like, for me, I actually ran on an issue that was, I think is a bipartisan issue, which is like, I want people to be healthy. You know what I mean? You see RK Make America Healthy Again. I'm like, I think that's a great, like, I want our state to be healthy and fit, and nobody on any side of the aisle can argue that. And for me, I guess leaning on my faith as well, like I'm a Christian, I'm personally sober, like I'm big into fitness. Like I think that's a message that everybody can get behind. And for me, like I was like, I definitely want to do it. But being in school running a business, like it ultimately came to the choice where I was like, I absolutely love this message. I believe in this message, but I believe my effort and my 24 hours in my day are going to be better served right now, finishing my degree, continuing to run my business, and then revisiting that at a time. I believe that I can not just, be trying to run, but also trying to do 10 other things. It's like, Steve Jobs, he's like, I'm not proud of the things Apple has done. I'm proud of the things Apple hasn't done, because focus is elimination. Focus is saying no. If you're going to, Kobe wasn't also the best baseball player in this. He's like basketball, and for me, you got to pick. If you want to be number one in the world, you got to pick, because somebody else isn't, how arrogant of me to think you can be number one doing 50-50 and all this. Like, no, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it number one.
Yeah. And politics, coaching, business, you're serving others in all these different things, all these different areas. Yes. And, our culture teaches us comfort, but, the Bible calls us to sacrifice.
Yes.
So, we aren't called to be comfortable. How do you teach men to embrace the hard things?
I would say that the number one thing in terms of like discipline, sacrifice, like the best advice I can give to like embrace, like as discipline, is the number one, just make your environment set up in a way that actually serves your goals. I think so many times, like if you actually have to use discipline, the idea of discipline is I have this choice or that choice and I have to choose this. But an example is like, if you only have healthy food in your house, like you don't actually have to use your discipline, your environment can serve. It's like you have to use discipline to not smoke and drink and do negative things if you're surrounded with people who do those things. But if you're around the top sales guys and you're around amazing coaches like Eric Brothers, who are able to be, sober, fit Christians to set that example, you don't need to be disciplined because your environment forces it.
Yeah, I know you're absolutely right. I mean, you got to get around and lean in to the ones that, will bring that temperature up to you. Like, I always want to be in the rooms where I'm not the smartest person in the room. I want to be, kind of like the dumbest person in the room.
I want to learn and soak everything in everybody all the time. This is always how I've been. Of course, I like to lead, but still there's the fact of listening and being a good leader. You also listen to people.
That's for sure. Yes.
So, lightning round is one word or quick answers, okay?
Okay.
So, favorite Bible verse?
Oh, man, there's so many. I don't know. I would probably say, like, let him sit in silence for the Lord is later on. So I think if you really understand your purpose and your mission, you can sit there and you understand you have a vision, and being, with yourself and your thoughts and God is super important.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I got one. Favorite number?
29.
29. Favorite workout?
Oh, man, probably anything upper body, chest day, arm day.
Big chest guy. Come on.
Coffee or energy drinks?
Coffee.
The guy comes in earlier, like, he's like, mind if I make coffee? And he makes me one, like he's ready to go.
He asked me one. Awesome. That's others. Thank you.
Biggest mistake men make in fitness?
Thinking it's got to be all or nothing. It's a lifestyle. It's got to work on your craziest, most busy days. And if it can't work on your craziest, most busy days, that's going to be your excuse of why you fall.
Man,
Christian, one habit that changed your life?
Giving myself the first 4 to 6 hours of every single day to focus on driving the most important things in my life forward. No meetings till 1.
What's one thing a father should teach his son? So maybe something your father has
passed down, or even a coach.
Oh, man. I think there's I don't know if there's one thing. There's probably so many things. I mean, I'm not a father, but if I would say one thing is just, I mean, if you're focused on just like telling the truth and serving others, I think that's a good habit. Like if you always have the best intentions for other people, like it's hard to go wrong and you can learn the tactics. But if you actually like in your heart, you want to actually help and serve people, I think you can kind of learn a lot of the other tactics. So I think that's one thing, like serve others and like be a good person, I would say, right at the heart of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really that simple. If you could have dinner with anyone and you can't pick Jesus, okay, who's it going to be?
Either Tom Brady or Alex Ramosi.
Here, come on. And let's talk about your legacy too.
Yeah.
What do you hope people remember about Riley Watkins?
Hopefully that I was able to positively impact them and help them just show up at
help save lives
each day. You know, I think that's the biggest thing. Like they can say when you think of Riley Watkins, like he helped me be a better version of myself. I think that's a good thing that I would want people to know about.
I got another question. Favorite play that you ran in high school?
Yeah.
You had to have that one that you just heard and you was like, let's go.
Probably my hurdle. When I hurdled somebody at Oakland my junior year. Yeah. Somebody, he went for my legs earlier, and next time I went up.
5'6", just going up the.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
So what's the blueprint that has been written into your life that you won't compromise?
Is there a certain action or certain blue? I think for me, it's just like I have my mission of like I want to be I'm going to build the #1 and biggest online fitness coaching company in the history of the world, and anything that's not that, I'm not doing.
You're determined. That's one going to stay. Right?
Yeah.
Give us one lie that culture tells men, that us Christians need to reject it.
One lie.
Because there's a lot of lies the world tells.
I would say the biggest thing for me, like at least recently, is like just saying that like just trying is good enough. Like I think you actually have to want to get better. Like I think a lot of times like it's easy to just tell yourself, I tried my best, but like if you want to be successful and you want to accomplish something, like it's gonna take actually what's required to succeed rather than just like resting on like you actually have to know what to do and then try your best so your best effort actually does match what's required to succeed.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing I would say personally.
So, someone out there is listening right now, and they feel stuck physically or spiritually or mentally. What's the first step they should take to that? On
Instagram, at Coach Riles, shoot me a DM, and within the next 6 to 12 months, you're going to be the best shape of your life.
Or Facebook. He's good.
Or Facebook, at Riley Watkins, at Coach Riles.
For us older people who don't get on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, you know what I mean? Follow me, connect with me, say, hey, saw your podcast, so I would love to get in shape. Yeah. We're going to help you out.
So they can find you on Facebook, Instagram,
LinkedIn, YouTube, everywhere. LinkedIn. Coach Riles, everywhere. Riley Watkins. I got a red thing with me, my arms crossed, smiling. I'm on every platform, every time, every day.
Yeah, you're not hard to find.
No, I'll find you.
That's it. Yeah, this guy will find you. But so Riley, thanks for coming in, sharing your story.
Appreciate you guys. Yeah.
One thing I love is your story really isn't fitness. It's about transformation.
Yeah.
And God transformed your heart.
Yes.
Then He transformed your mind. Then He transformed your body.
Yeah.
And we see that. The order matters.
Yeah.
Right. And so to everyone listening, remember. You don't honor God by being perfect. You honor Him by being faithful. Discipline isn't punishment. It's worship. Whether you're trying to lose weight, grow your faith, become a better husband, or lead your family well, the blueprint is always the same. Follow Christ daily. Be disciplined in the small things. Trust God's process. And watch Him build something far greater than you could ever build on your own. So we'll see you next time on The Blueprint. Riley, we thank you. You got any parting words before you leave?
If you're looking for a house, go hang out with Chris Thomas. If you're looking for a car, hang out with Low Down Deals.
Come on. Hey, so 3 guys right here. We're gonna get you a house, car, and build you.
Let's go.
Build you back spiritually and physically. Get around us, and we're gonna make it happen.
Let's go. Hey, I love you. God loves you more. Come on.
Thank you.
See you.